the deal with Jaren Jackson Jr. now that he's no longer eligible for the Supermax extension? Suddenly, he becomes this very intriguing piece for the Los Angeles Lakers, right? I mentioned this before, but as the news started swirling, you begin to hear more whispers about the Lakers potentially making a move for him. The timing lines up perfectly since he's entering a contract year, which means he could be more open to moving, or the Lakers could be more motivated to pull something off before free agency. And now, major outlets have floated the idea that Jaren Jackson Jr. might be heading to LA, and honestly, it's a storyline that makes a lot of sense. If I were running the Lakers, I'd definitely be putting out feelers. Of course, no official tampering, because that never happens in the NBA, but just those casual calls. Hey, Jaren, how you doing? You interested in coming to the Lakers? You never know. Sometimes a little informal chat can pave the way for a bigger dish. Jackson Jr. is exactly what this Lakers team desperately needs. He's probably the closest player you could get to Anthony Davis in terms of defensive presence. I'm talking about a legitimate defensive anchor who can protect the rim, block shots, guard multiple positions, and defend in space. Even though he didn't qualify for the Supermax because his offensive production hasn't reached superstar levels yet, he won the Defensive Player of the Year award as a center, which is impressive by itself. A lot of people like to push the narrative that he's not really a center anymore, but he definitely is. They just drafted a player like Zach Edey who can take that 5 spot more regularly, so Jackson Jr. can slide to the 4, which he seems to prefer. It's exactly like what Anthony Davis did in his career, playing both the 4 and the 5 depending on the lineup and situation. Davis never said he didn't want to play center. He just didn't want to play it full-time for 40 minutes every night. He was fine playing center for stretches, but preferred to spend a good chunk of minutes at power forward. Jaren Jackson Jr. can fit the Lakers in the same way. You could imagine the Lakers starting him at center alongside LeBron James. Then, when LeBron needs a breather, Jackson Jr. slides over to the 4 spot, and you bring in a true center like Clint Capela or someone similar. That way, you maintain your big presence and defensive flexibility while getting LeBron the rest he needs to stay effective down the stretch. The pieces can absolutely work. The Lakers just have to be creative with rotations and lineups, but that's what championship teams do. Here's the thing though, the Lakers can't just wait for free agency to get Jaren Jackson Jr. They have to be willing to pull the trigger now in a trade if Jackson Jr. makes it clear he wants to be in LA. That's the only way it works. Remember how the Lakers landed Anthony Davis. It wasn't just a matter of trade talks. Davis made it known he only wanted to go to LA and he was willing to force his way there. If Jackson Jr. does the same, it opens the door for the Lakers to make a deal happen immediately. Waiting until he's a free agent next summer means gambling with the entire season. What if something happens? Injury, a change of heart, or another team swoops in? It's a huge risk. On top of that, if the Lakers trade for him now, they get his bird rights. That means more financial flexibility down the road to build around this core. If they wait, they'd have to sign a center on a short-term deal just to clear space for Jackson Jr. later, which isn't an ideal path to contention. It's much smarter to act proactively and secure him while they have the assets and cap space to do so. And financially, this works out pretty well for the Lakers. Since Jaren Jackson Jr. no longer qualifies for the Supermax, his new contract wouldn't be the astronomical figure some might expect. Pairing him with LeBron James and Luka Doncic, both star players but aren't max-tier salaries, puts the Lakers in a unique position. They'd have 2 top-tier players making big money, but still leave room to build a solid supporting cast without sacrificing depth. This balance between star salaries and team depth is what separates good teams from title contenders who can compete consistently year after year, instead of just having short windows to chase championships. Imagine the core: LeBron James, Luka Doncic, and Jaren Jackson Jr. locked in. That's an elite trio with star power, defensive versatility, and scoring ability. Around them, the Lakers could build a legitimate 3-and-D supporting cast. Maybe guys like Wayne Selden or Dorian Finney-Smith, players who bring toughness, shooting, and defense to complement the stars. The roster could be built to win now, not just hope to develop potential. Even more interesting is the trade scenario. Jaren Jackson Jr. could be acquired for a combination of young players and draft picks. Something like Austin Reeves, Max Christie, a first-round pick, and maybe a pick swap thrown in. That's a very reasonable package for a player of Jackson Jr.'s caliber, especially if he's pushing for a move. The Lakers have those kinds of assets and could pull off a trade without mortgage in the future. Plus, this trade wouldn't even strip the Lakers of all their salary flexibility. They'd still have other movable pieces, like Rui Hachimura or Gabe Vincent, to package in further deals if needed. And with those moves, the Lakers could even bring in additional talent to solidify their rotation. So if Jaren Jackson Jr. trade happens, suddenly LeBron James might be willing to take a discount on his salary next season. That's a real possibility, because if you look at the bigger picture, LeBron's not going to demand a veteran minimum, but he also doesn't need to take a massive pay cut. Just a moderate reduction would open up the full mid-level exception for the Lakers to add more quality role players, maybe even someone like Bruce Brown or Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Those kinds of moves could turn the Lakers into a true championship contender. And think about Jaren Jackson Jr.'s perspective here. He'd no longer have to carry the heavy offensive load every night or be the primary scorer to justify his value. Joining a team with LeBron and Luka means he can focus on what he does best: defense, rim protection, playing in space, being a lob threat. His development would accelerate because he'd be part of a winning culture surrounded by elite talent. It's a win-win situation. So honestly, if I were Jaren Jackson Jr., I'd be shouting from the rooftops to get traded to the Lakers. Playing in Los Angeles, the entertainment capital, alongside two future Hall of Famers. Being the cornerstone of a team with legitimate championship aspirations for the next decade. That's a no-brainer. This scenario isn't just wishful thinking. It feels like something that could very well happen if Jackson Jr. pushes for it, and the Lakers should absolutely be ready to move on it. It could be the catalyst that propels them back into championship contention immediately. I'm sure we'll be talking about this a lot more as the trade deadline approaches and free agency draws near. But for now, just imagine what it means to have Jaren Jackson Jr. in purple and gold, protecting the rim, finishing alley-oops, and giving the Lakers the defensive backbone they've been missing. It could change everything. Now diving deeper into why the Lakers landing Jaren Jackson Jr. could be such a pivotal move, it's important to look beyond just his individual talent and understand how his skill set fits perfectly with the current and future state of the team. The Lakers have been searching for that defensive anchor since the Anthony Davis trade, someone who can protect the paint, switch effectively on perimeter players, and provide rim protection at an elite level. Jaren Jackson Jr. fits that profile to a T. His ability to guard multiple positions and alter shots at the rim is something the Lakers desperately need, especially given the amount of time LeBron James is still willing to put in as the team's primary facilitator and playmaker. LeBron's game has evolved into more of a point forward style, and having a big man like Jackson Jr. who can guard the best opposing big and help cover the defensive gaps allows LeBron to conserve energy and focus on running the offense. Not to mention, Jaren's shot blocking ability is among the best in the league. That kind of presence deters opponents from attacking the rim as aggressively, which makes the whole defense stronger. This effect can't be overstated because when you have a rim protector like that, it lifts the entire team's defensive rating. It forces opponents into tougher shots on the perimeter, where the Lakers have the length and athleticism to contest effectively. Another major benefit is spacing. Jaren Jackson Jr. has a reliable three-point shot for a big man, which instantly makes the Lakers' offense more dynamic. When defenses have to respect his perimeter shooting, it opens driving lanes for LeBron and Luka, and also makes it easier to run pick and rolls or handoffs without getting clogged in the paint. The Lakers have struggled to consistently space the floor in recent seasons, and adding a versatile shooter like Jackson Jr. could change that narrative. It also complements Anthony Davis' style of play if the two share the floor occasionally, or if Davis eventually moves on, or the Lakers decide to transition fully to a younger core. Jackson Jr. is younger, on the rise, and could be a foundational piece for the next decade. The Lakers also need to consider the timing of all this. Their window to contend at the highest level with LeBron is still open. but it's not infinite. Getting Jaren Jackson Jr. on board now would mean hitting their prime together while LeBron is still playing at an elite level. The synergy between LeBron's veteran leadership and Jackson Jr.'s youthful energy and defensive prowess could create a perfect balance. Luka Doncic, of course, would be the other major star in this equation, and the trio could form one of the most formidable cores in the NBA. It's important to note that Jaren Jackson Jr.'s desire to join the Lakers isn't guaranteed, but from a player standpoint, the benefits are crystal clear. LA is a marquee destination, the media market is unparalleled, and the team's star power is undeniable. Playing alongside LeBron and Luka would not only elevate his game, but also significantly increase his chances of winning a championship, which every player dreams of. And while the Lakers would need to part with some valuable assets, it's a calculated risk that could pay off exponentially. Financially, the situation is also intriguing. Without the Supermax, Jaren's new contract won't be as prohibitive, meaning the Lakers can maintain enough flexibility to sign quality role players and retain their stars. This salary structure is essential in today's NBA, where building a deep, balanced roster often determines championship success more than just having 3 or 4 star players. The Lakers could add players who bring defense, shooting, and energy off the bench, creating a complete and versatile roster capable of withstanding the grueling playoff battles. If you consider the trade assets the Lakers currently have, it's not hard to envision a package that satisfies the Memphis Grizzlies, Jackson Jr.'s current team. Young talents like Austin Reeves and Max Christie, combined with future draft picks and possibly another player like Dalton Kincaid, could form a competitive offer that addresses Memphis's needs while still preserving the Lakers' core. The Grizzlies are in a rebuilding phase and would benefit from multiple draft assets and young players who can contribute immediately. It's a scenario where both teams potentially win. One potential hurdle, however, is convincing Jackson Jr. to publicly declare his preference for the Lakers, similar to how Anthony Davis did years ago. That type of player-driven demand is often what pushes trades over the finish line in the NBA. Without it, teams tend to hold firm on their asking price or opt to keep their players, especially if they're young and talented. But if Jackson Jr. makes it clear that LA is his preferred destination, that could force Memphis's hand to at least seriously entertain the trade talks. The Lakers also need to carefully manage the expectations around LeBron's contract situation. While he's still playing at a high level, his salary demands and potential willingness to take a pay cut can directly impact the team's ability to build around Jaren Jackson Jr. and Luka Doncic. LeBron's decision to stay, take a discount, or leave will ripple through the entire roster construction process. But knowing LeBron's competitive nature, if the Lakers present a roster that can contend immediately with an exciting young core, he may be incentivized to adjust his contract to help facilitate that vision. Another element to consider is the broader competitive landscape of the Western Conference. The Lakers need to act decisively because there are multiple teams assembling impressive rosters. Golden State Warriors, Denver Nuggets, Phoenix Suns, and others have stacked talent and have proven playoff experience. To compete at that level, the Lakers need a game-changing piece like Jaren Jackson Jr. who can both elevate their defense and complement their offensive stars. Waiting too long could mean missing out on that window and having to settle for less impactful additions. There's also the intangible factor of culture and fit. The Lakers have historically been a destination for star players who want to chase championships in a high-profile market. Adding Jaren Jackson Jr. would reinforce that culture of winning and high expectations. It also gives the team a defensive identity, which is crucial in playoff basketball. Defense wins championships, and Jackson Jr. embodies that defensive mindset. Ultimately, this situation boils down to timing, willingness, and strategy. The Lakers have the assets and the cap flexibility to make a move. Jaren Jackson Jr. has the talent and potential fit to thrive in LA. If both sides align and he expresses the desire to be there, the Lakers should pull every lever to make it happen. It's a rare opportunity to fast-track their return to championship. Contention. Build around a core of elite talent and shape the franchise's future for years to come. This isn't just about one player. It's about setting a foundation for sustained success. So as we watch the trade rumors develop and the offseason approaches, keep an eye on this storyline. It's got all the ingredients for a blockbuster. Move! If Jaren Jackson Jr. and the Lakers come together, it could be the beginning of something special. A new era of Lakers basketball built on defense, versatility, and star power. For fans, analysts, and the league, it's definitely one of the most compelling stories to follow in the coming months. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. Rumors are swirling around the NBA landscape as speculation intensifies that Serbian guard ALEKSA AVRAMOVIC could be on his way to the Los Angeles Lakers. While no official statement has been released by either the player or the organization, multiple sources close to the situation suggest that talks have quietly taken place, fueling whispers of a possible move to the iconic franchise. Avramovic, known for his intense defensive prowess and gritty playing style, has built a solid reputation in European basketball, most recently shining for Partizan Belgrade in both the ABA League and EuroLeague competitions. His ability to disrupt opposing offenses, combined with his fearless approach on the court, has reportedly caught the attention of several NBA scouts over the past 2 seasons. The Lakers, in particular, are believed to be intrigued by his potential. Fit as a defensive-minded guard who can bring energy off the bench. Speculation about this potential move has only grown in recent weeks, with some insiders suggesting that Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka is seeking to bolster the team's backcourt depth with affordable, high IQ players. Avramovic, with his wealth of international experience and mature game, seems to fit that mold. Furthermore, the Lakers' recent trend of signing European talents in search of undervalued contributors adds credibility to these rumors. For Avramovic, making the leap to the NBA would mark a significant milestone in his career. Having honed his skills across several European leagues, including stints in Italy and Spain before his tenure with Partizan, the 29-year-old appears primed for a new challenge. Some analysts speculate that his competitive nature and defensive versatility could make him an ideal role player for a Lakers team aiming to contend for another championship. While nothing is confirmed, and this remains firmly in the realm of possibility rather than certainty, the buzz surrounding ALEKSA AVRAMOVIC's potential arrival in Los Angeles continues to gather momentum. Fans and analysts alike are keeping a close watch, eager to see whether this European standout will indeed trade Belgrade for the bright lights of Hollywood. Until an official announcement is made, however, this remains one of the most intriguing rumors of the NBA offseason. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.